It's been a while. Today I'm going to take you guys back to 2020, in a time where the world was hit by something. Footballers were doing keepy uppies with toilet roll, and I was making videos about my daily lockdown routine. But most importantly to a lot of you guys, football was cancelled and then returned without any fans in stadiums. Now let me just address the elephant in the room. And no, I'm not talking about that one. I've actually made that joke many times in my past. Before we get into this video at all, I just want to address the elephant in the room. And not that one. But of course you may have seen this video on this exact same topic. I don't care. I'm still going to talk about this topic because it's a fun one, yeah? I don't care if this brother made the video 7 months ago. Yeah, I was scripting it last year. Yeah, how about that? Having no football fans in stadiums was taking immersion to the next level. I was able to hear all the ins and outs of what football players were saying on the pitch. Arsenal fans were getting open mic videos of Granit Xhaka during the game to hear every single thing that he was talking about on the pitch, like he wasn't, at the time, one of our most hated players. It was crazy. AFTV also had the internet in a headlock, with their entire lineup being displayed every single Arsenal game. They were all watching the game live, and we could see them just in this random room with Robbie there and Troops there and DT there, and there would be some iconic moments that would stem from having these personalities all in one room.
Alright, hurry up.
It was like WWE when they combined SmackDown and Raw to make one big event with all the superstars collaborating. You were seeing all your favorite AFTV members in one room reacting to 90 minutes of football, and it was pure gold.
What is he doing there? What is he doing?
We no longer had to wait till after the game to see the misery on their faces. We would see it in real time, and as an Arsenal fan, I was loving it. Certain players decided to unleash their full potential with no fans in stadiums. The pressure was off, and they just decided, you know what? I'm actually start playing good now. Christian Pulisic was looking like the second coming of Messi at times for Chelsea, and if it wasn't for his, knees made of Tic Tacs, maybe he would have led Chelsea to do something greater than finish 4th. But there was times during the lockdown that this guy was unplayable. Patrick Bamford turned into the second coming of R9 with performances for Leeds week in and week out. This guy got 17 goals and 7 assists during this lockdown period of football, and he's never been able to replicate that since. He's just fallen off. It was literally lockdown fever. Jesse Lingard was just moonwalking all over teams, and in 17 games got 9 goals and 4 assists. Jesse Lingard, yeah, the guy that just joined FC Seoul something in South Korea. He just joined the South Korean league. Genuinely, some of these guys were unplayable during this time, but looking at them now, all of them are finished. But Jib, how could you enjoy this? How could you enjoy a time of football where every single fan was relishing in Arsenal's downfall? I don't know, I just have a sick and twisted mind. Because during this time, in 2020, Arsenal went 8 games without a win. 8 games. That is relegation form right there. And obviously these games were being broadcast to, the world, but the reactions from our fans were being broadcast too. Arsenal fans were suffering, but not in silence. We were suffering, for people's entertainment, and it was a tough time and also character building for every single Arsenal fan that went through this period. That's why now, if anything bad happens, do you think we don't even care? We lost to Aston Villa 3-0 in a performance I can only describe as poo. Literal poo. We lost to Wolves 2-1 with some of the most incredible things happening in that game. Podence, a literal smurf on a football pitch, flicked it over Gabriel in slow motion to get the goal to make it 2-1 in the game. This guy had the defense on ropes and has done nothing since that moment, in his whole career. That moment defined his legacy. And after losing back then to Wolves 2-1, we were 14th in the Premier League. We then got nuked by Spurs with Son and Kane putting up an absolute masterclass, and then in the next game Aubameyang decided to, you know what, score an own goal, give Burnley a 1-0 win and call it a day. And to top off this historic run by Arsenal coming off a 2-1 loss to Everton, we played Manchester City in the EFL Cup. And you know what happened? We lost 4-1. 3 days before Christmas. Lockdown literally had Arsenal fans proud of this 8th place finish. Just because the season was over. You know, we were happy with 8th. And even in the Champions League, for football, things were just weird at this time. It was August 2020 and Bayern Munich were facing PSG in the Champions League final, and nobody actually cared. I can't even remember watching this live, and I am a football fan, of course. Champions League final, PSG Bayern Munich, and I can't even remember what happened. I think it was just a 1-0 win with like Kingsley Coman getting the winner. But do I remember sitting down and watching that match? Do you? No. You know, Manuel Neuer decided to download some sort of DLC in his computer robot brain that just decided to stop every single attack that PSG, you know, threw at him. And then even the following season, Havertz, you know, scores the winner in a 1-0 between Chelsea and Man City in the Champions League final. Tell me how Chelsea can lose 5-2 to West Brom in April that same season, and then in May go and beat Manchester City in the Champions League final and win. Come on. This only could happen during lockdown. This period of time was just unfeasible. I can't even really express what was happening during this time because football was such a blur. But if there was any lockdown moments that I just completely missed out on, then let me know in the comments. Lockdown football was elite, and the nostalgia that comes with it is something that can never be recreated and hopefully doesn't ever get recreated because of the circumstances that we were in. It was a time when people were going through it, mental health was declining, schools were closed, you know, houses were just packed with children. You know, if you got your siblings that are younger, it was game over for you, really. You know, every day, no privacy. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment and subscribe, and of course, stay safe, stay blessed, and peace.
If you're bald, right, send me a picture of, you know, pride. I want to see pride in your face.